Okay, we are going to start with the software configuration management. So the first thing we come into our mind when we hear about this particular software configuration management term. So what is exactly, who does it in the software engineering process, and what is the why it is important in the software engineering processes. Okay, so what is first question we are going to start with, what is it exactly? So when we build the computer software or particular changes are going to be get happen. Okay, so because these changes are going to be get either that particular changes are going to be get suggested by the customer, or the development team wants to add some things into that particular requirement. So at that time, because of these particular changes, when the particular change is going to be happen, we need to manage it effectively. Okay, the development team has to manage it effectively. So the software configuration management is also called as the change management. Okay, so it is the set of the activities that are designed to manage the change by identifying the work product and that are likely to change, and to establish the relationship among the particular set of the requirements. Okay, so by defining mechanism for managing the different versions of these particular work product is there, controlling features of the particular changes is going to be get imposed, then the auditing and the reporting of the particular changes is going to be get made for the particular software configuration management is. The second question that comes into your mind, who does this particular software configuration management? Okay, so the everyone who are going to be get involved in the particular software process, all are going to be get involved in the software configuration management. Okay, so whatever the things are going to be get happen with the change management to some extent, but the specialized support positions are sometimes created to manage the software configuration management processes. Okay, next we are going to see why it is so important in the software development processes. So if we if we can't control the particular changes, then the particular changes are going to hamper the particular software development processes. Okay, so that we have seen when we have studied the risk management topics. Okay, so if we cannot control the software development processes, then it maybe leads to the occurrences of the risk is there. Okay, so it is not good. So these particular changes in the particular requirements are not good. So it is very easy for a stream of uncontrolled changes to turn well into the run the particular software project into the particular phases. Okay, so as the consequences of this, the software quality is going to be get suffer by the delivery of the particular software is going to be get delayed. So for the particular reasons of this particular change management, so it is a very essential part for the quality management. Okay, so we can say that due to this particular software configuration management or the change management, the quality of the particular software is going to be get hampered. So that's why we need to control this particular software configuration management for the proper software development processes. Okay, so next we are going to start is the actual definition. So what is the exact definition of software configuration management is? Okay, so the software configuration management is nothing but the set of the activities that are going to be get carried out for identifying the changes in the particular system, for organizing those particular changes in the particular system, and the controlling these changes. Okay, so three terms are mainly used. First one is the identification, second one is organizing, and third one is the controlling. Okay, so identification, organizing, and the controlling the changes throughout the particular life cycle of the software, computer software, is called as the software configuration management. Okay, so during the development of the software, the changes is going to be get managed and going to be get controlled in order to improve the quality and to reduce the errors that is going to be get happen with the in the life cycle of the software development processes. Okay, so the software configuration management is nothing but the quality assurance activity, because it is going to be get applied throughout the particular software processes. Okay, so when we talk about the software configuration management, one thing we have to keep in our mind, this particular configuration management system is going to be get affected to the quality assurance activity of the particular software processes. Okay, next we are going to see the origins of the particular changes. So why this particular origins of the changes are going to be get requested for the particular software development is. So the first thing is that the new business or the market conditions or the, so when the new business or the market position causes the changes in the particular set of the requirements. Okay, so due to this the particular changes are need to be get occur. Okay, means what? For example, the customer has communicated with the development team that he wants to implement few set of the requirements, but at the 6 months down the line he wants to add some changes into the set of the requirements because he did some software survey. So according to that software survey he wants to add some modifications or add some requirements into the particular software uh, set of the software. So because of that uh, the particular origin of the changes is going to be occur. Okay, so this is why the particular due to the new business or the due to the market position or the market condition. So whichever the things are going to be get done with the help of the survey, this thing is going to be get happen. Second thing for the origin of the changes is that the new stakeholder may require some changes in the existing requirement. Means what? When the particular software is going to be get implemented, deployed at the particular stakeholders site, and then particular stakeholder wants to add on some new features in that particular existing software. Okay, so due to that particular modifications into the existing software, whatever the data is going to be get produced by that particular information system, so they demand for the modifications into the existing system. Okay, so because of that the request for the changing the particular set of the requirement is going to be get take place. Okay, so this is the second reason. Third reason is that the recognition or the business growth or the downsizing. So due to the business growth or due to the project extension. Okay, so it is essential to make the changes into the particular project. Okay, for example, if particular product is going to be get sell in the larger extent as compared to what the customer has have a thought in his mind. So due to that scenario, if the particular project is going to be get sell in the more order, so due to that particular reorganization or the particular business growth, that particular project is get sell in the larger extent. So this is the one reason. So that's why he wants to add new thing or he wants to make few changes into that particular project. Second scenario is that if the particular project is going to be get extended. Okay, so the development of particular project is going to be get activity is going to be get extended. So at that time also they want the particular new features to be get incorporated in that particular project software development processes, because when the particular project is going to be get delayed into the particular market, so at that time the competitors have already created a lot of features which are easily available in the new market. So that particular customer wants to add new add-ons to that particular set of the requirements. So because of that the business growth or by the downsizing or by the project extension, the request for the changes is going to be get suggested. The next reason for the origins of the particular changes is that budgetary or the scheduling constraints causes the redefinitions of the system or the product. So when the particular project is going to be get delayed by some schedule time, so because of that the budget thing, the schedule of the particular project, when it is going to be get expected to deploy that particular software to the particular system, so because of these constraints the changes in the particular project is going to be get suggested by the customer. Okay, if that particular schedule of the particular project is going to be get delayed, so at that time because of the budget is going to be get collapsed, so at that time the customer is now requesting the particular development team to cut down some sort of the requirements which are not going to have the high priority as per the customer point of view. So because of that things the changes are going to be get now suggested by the customer in the last minute of the project delivery. So because of that the change management is going to be get take place. Okay, so these are the reasons for the origins of the changes. Okay, now we are going to see the goals in the particular change management. Okay, so when we are going to perform the change management in any software development activity, So what is the goal behind that particular change management in the software development life cycle? Okay, so during the software development processes, various roles and tasks are mainly going to be get involved when the particular change is going to be get suggested for the particular software development activities. Okay, so the goal of the as a project manager, the goal of the particular project manager is to ensure that the particular project is getting completed within the given schedule and given budget. Okay, when the particular project is going to be get completed within the identified schedule and identified budget, then the project manager continuously track the progress of that particular project is. Okay, so this is the goal from the project manager point of view. Okay, the second goal in the particular change management is that the configuration manager, the person who is going to keep a track on the whatever the changes, whatever the suggestions are going to be get suggested by the stakeholders for that particular project. So that particular configuration management manager is going to ensure that the changes in the particular project is appropriately taking place, and it is going to be get tested. Testing is going to be get conducted thoroughly after the modification in the particular project is. Okay, so whatever the changes they are going to perform with respect to the development or with respect to the testing, so all these changes are not going to affect any kind of the problem in that particular software, is going to take care by the configuration manager. Okay, the next goal of the software engineer is to work on the assigned module to produce the efficient code and error-free code. Okay, when we are going to talk about the change management from the software engineer's point of view, so his main focus is to create the software or create the module or the component which is very efficient. It means what? All the requirements are properly executed, implemented in that particular component, and that particular component is error-free component. Okay, so that particular code in that particular component is error-free. So it is not going to give any kind of the defects that are going to get identified by that particular software engineers. Okay, and the next important stakeholder in the particular change management is the customer. Okay, so customer uses the particular product, analyze it, and they may request for the particular change, or they need to find out the defects or the bugs in that particular product. Okay, so when the particular customer is going to see the implemented product, so at that time he tried to analyze that particular product based upon the set of the requirements given in the SRS with respect to the what the actual implementation he is going to have in front of him or her. Okay, so he's going to use that particular product. He analyze that particular product with respect to the requirement, and it may request for the changes, or he may request for the particular changes, or if he find out something is not going to be get implemented as per his requirement, or if he is going to find out any kind of the error. So these are the different goals with respect to the particular customer. Okay, so in the change management with respect to the different stakeholders we have seen. So we have seen the goal with respect to the first one was the project manager, second one was the configuration manager, and third one is the software engineer, and last one is the customer. Okay, so these are the four key stakeholders of the particular project. Okay, the next topic we are going to start with the elements of this particular configuration management system. Okay, so CMS mainly talk about the elements. Those are mainly going to get identified, the four important elements of the software configuration management. So these elements are, first one is the component element, second one is the process element, third one is the construction element, and fourth one is the human element. Okay, so these four set of the elements are going to get identified, or they are act as the important element for the particular software configuration management is. Okay, now we are going to see all these things. So first thing is the component element. So component element it is a set of the tools that are going to be get coupled with the file management system, means the databases, and they mainly enable the access and the management of each software configuration items. Okay, so the component element mainly consists of the collection of the tools that are mainly used for file management system. So example of the component element is the database. Second one is the process element. So process element, it consists of the actions and the tasks, okay, that are used during the change management and at the sort of the use of the particular software is. Okay, so the process management process element is mainly going to be get implemented or going to be used with respect to the set of the actions and with the task that is going to be get used during the change management and the use of that particular software is. Next is the construction element. So construction element, it is nothing but the collection of the tools that automate the construction of the particular software. Okay, so when we are going to validate the particular software requirements with the help of any automation tools. Okay, so there are multiple automation tools are available in the market. Like you might heard for the testing purpose, we are going to use the Selenium. You might heard these words, tools name, the Selenium, Load Runner. So these are the main tools are mainly going to be get used for the testing phase of the particular software. So with the help of this automation tool, we can automate the part of the testing for the particular construction element. The next element is the human element. So human element, it consists of the set of the tools that are used by the software team to implement the configuration management system is. Okay, so the human elements are nothing but, or they mainly talk about the resources that are mainly used for the configuration management system is. Okay, so you need to keep in mind, keep remember these four elements. Okay, so the question can be asked, the elements are going to be get listed down and you need to identify which one is the correct in that particular listed element is. Okay, so you need to keep in mind that the component, process, construction and the human. So these are the four elements of the configuration management system is. The next topic that we are going to start is the baselines. So baselines are mainly going to be get so these particular baselines are mainly going to be talk about the specifications. So specifications are nothing but the things that the customer wants, or the whatever the things the customer is going to give for implementation of that particular software is. Okay, so those things are going to be called as the specifications. When that particular specifications are analyzed, then it is going to be termed as the requirements. Okay, so specifications that has been formally reviewed and that are going to be get agreed upon, that thereafter they are going to serve as a basis for the further development of the particular system is. Okay, so that can be changed only through the formal change control procedures. Okay, so the IEEE standard is there. So IEEE standard defines the particular baseline as a specification or the product that has been formally reviewed or that is going to be get agreed upon by all the stakeholders, and thereafter they are going to serve as the basis for further development activities. So they are going to be act as a base for the development activities. So based upon that particular activities, all the software development lifecycle phases are going to be get implemented, and once that can be changed only through the formal changes of that particular control procedures. Okay, so baseline is a milestone in the particular development of the particular software that is going to be get marked by the delivery of the one or more software configuration items. Okay, and by the approval of them, it is going to be get obtained through the formal technical reviews. Okay, so the baseline is also act as a shared project database. So it is also called as the software configuration management task to maintain the integrity of the set of the artifacts. So whatever the set of the components, whatever the set of executable components we are going to have, they are going to maintain their integrity. So when we are going to make changes into the one component, so that particular changes are not going to affect the functionality of the another project is. Okay, so their task is to maintain the integrity of the particular set of the different components. So the elements of the particular design model has been first documented and then it is going to be get reviewed. Okay, so from this particular design model, the errors are going to be get identified, and those errors are now going to be get corrected. So overall, all the parts of the particular model has been reviewed, corrected, and then it is going to be get approved. So the first thing is what they are going to be get all the set of the activities are reviewed first, then they are going to be get corrected if some kind of the changes they are going to be get suggested or they required, and then it is going to be get approved on. Okay, so this particular design model is now becomes the baseline for the particular software development system is. Okay, so in this particular figure is going to represent the common structure of the baselines. Okay, so in this figure you are going to see the software engineering task is there. Some so this particular software engineering task is going to produce the SCIs. Okay, so this particular software baseline is going to be get divided or going to be get implemented with the help of the 5 steps. So step number 1 is that the engineering task is going to produce one or more SCIs. So second phase is that these SCIs are now then going to be get reviewed, and then they are going to be get approved. So these just seen diagram. So we are going to have the software configuration task is available with us. So this particular software engineering task is going to produce one or more SCIs. So SCIs are nothing but the software configuration items. So these items are going to be get produced when the particular set of the software configuration tasks are reviewed and they are going to modified. Okay, so this is the first step. In second step, the software configuration items are then reviewed it, and then they are going to get approved on. Okay, once these things are going to get approved by performing the formal technical reviews, these particular SCIs are now approved. So third thing is that these are then placed into the particular project database or into the project library. So this box, square rectangle box is going to be represent the project database, or it is also called as a project library. Okay, so when software engineer wants to make changes into the baseline SCIs, so it copied it to the software engineers private workspace, and then it is going to be get extracted. That particular software configuration items is going to be get modified only if the software configuration management control is going to be get followed with. Okay, so when the particular software engineers want to make the changes into the identified software configuration items, he has to take it from the particular baseline. Okay, baseline, and he need to copy that particular SCIs into the his private workspace. Then only he is going to make the changes into the particular software configuration baseline. So this is the software configuration baseline. Now these are the steps. The first thing is the configuration task. First, whatever the software configuration tasks are available with us, so available to the particular product, the software engineering task is going to produce one or more SCIs. Second, SCIs are reviewed and approved, and these SCIs are now placed into the what? Into the project database or the library. And when the particular software engineer wants to modify it, then he is going to copy that particular thing into his private workspace. Okay, so these are the steps that are going to be get implemented into the particular baseline steps. Now we are going to see the important topic, that is the software configuration items. Okay, so software configuration item. So software configuration items are what they could be considered as a single section for the large specification, or it can be the just one single test case in the particular large suite of the particular test is. Okay, so when these particular SCIs are derived from the software work product, okay, so many software engineer organizations also place this particular software tool under the configuration control. Okay, so there are specific versions of the editors, compilers, browsers are there, so they are going to be act as a frozen as a part of the software configuration. So because of these tools were used to produce the documentation, source code, and the data, so it can be available when the particular changes into the particular software configuration is going to be get made available. Okay, so in reality, the software configuration items are going to be get organized from configuration objects that may be the cataloged into the particular project database with the single name. Okay, so the configuration object has its own name, its attributes, and it is going to be get connected to the other objects by the relationship. Okay, so in this particular diagram you can see this. So just like in class diagram, we are going to see, so design specification is the name of this particular object. The attributes of this particular object is the data design, architectural design, model design, and the interface design. So this complete design specification is going to act as an one object, and this particular object is going to be get interact with the data model object is. Okay, so data model object is also going to have its own name, attributes, and the operation. So this is how two objects are going to interact with the each other. Okay, so in this figure we are going to see the design specification, configuration object is there, data model is there, component N is there, source code is there, test specifications there. Okay, so each is going to define separately. So each of these object is related to the other, so it is going to be get represented with the help of the arrow. Okay, so how it is going to be get interacted, or how it is going to be get connected with the another arrow is. Okay, so the curved arrow you are going to see here. So this is the curved arrow and this is the straight arrow. Okay, so the curved arrow indicates the compositional relation. Okay, means what, the data model and the component N are the part of the objects of the design specifications. Okay, they are the part of the particular design specifications object. Okay, and the double-headed arrow, so you just see here double-headed arrow from test to the component N. Okay, this arrow is straight line is going to have the two-side arrow. Okay, double-headed arrow. So double-headed straight arrow is going to indicates the interrelationship. Okay, so two terms were there. First one is the curved arrow is going to represent the compositional relation, and the double-headed single arrow, straight single line arrow is going to represent the interrelationship. If the particular changes are going to be get made into the source code object, then their interrelationship are also enable us to determine what the object that going to be get affected. Means what, when we are going to make changes into the test specifications, the ultimately the component and the source code, they are going to be get affected with that particular changes is. Okay, so this particular software configuration item basically is nothing but the information that is going to be get created as a part of the particular software engineering processes. Okay, so the examples of the configuration items are nothing but the computer programs, source program, executable programs. So in case of the documents describing the programs, it can be the technical manuals, it can be the user manuals. If with respect to the data, it can be the program component or the function, it can be the external data, or it can be the file structures. Okay, so for each type of the item, there may be the large number of the different individual items that are going to be get produced, and for that particular items there may be the many documents of the particular software specifications, such as the project plan, quality plan, test plan, design document program, test reports, review reports. So these are the nothing but the different software specifications document. Okay, so these particular software configuration items will be going to be get produced during the particular project. So these are going to be get produced during the particular project. They are going to be get stored, retrieved, changed, stored, and again this cycle is going to be get repeated. Okay, so the each configuration item must have an unique name, and the description specifications, which helps them to distinguish it from the other items of the same type. Okay, so this is what the software configuration item is. So is it clear, everyone, what is meant by the software configuration item? So under the particular software configuration management, we have seen